a stunning panoramic view of the stadium and Denver's skyline. And then Sundays in the Mile High City, join the fans at Fieldhouse, your home game football. With 4 screens and our open garage windows, we're the next best thing to being there. Call 720-507-3457 to schedule your site visit. More information at Fieldhouse. So what do you think? Here we are, KUHSdenver.com once again. And we have some fabulous people in the studio. Michael Bliss talking about BlissFest333 and Mary Elitch in the studio talking about the event this weekend and a lot of other things. The Multicultural Arts Festival, right? You've been doing this for some time. So
yes,
I'm going to let them take it away here and talk about it.
So yes, BlissFest has been going on since 1999, and we started in Austin, and now we have partnered up with Historic Elitch Theater and Mary Elitch. We have Mary Elitch here in the studio.
Hello.
So say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
So this is amazing to have the owner of Historic Elitch Theater with us right now. And she's going to tell you a little bit about the history of the theater and a little bit about herself right now. And then we will talk about BlissFest. But I do want to say one thing before we get over to Mary. We are giving out free tickets today if you are listening to the BlissFest International Film Festival that is happening this weekend at one of Denver's best theaters. So Historic Elitch Theater is Denver's oldest, and the Alamo Drafthouse, where the BlissFest Film Festival is going to be, is Denver's newest theater. So we are at the Alamo Drafthouse Sloan's Lake location. And we are giving out free tickets today. So if you are listening live on Facebook, comment below that we love BlissFest. And we will connect with you and give you some free tickets to the fest. It's all weekend at the Alamo Drafthouse starting at 11 a.m. on Saturday and 11 a.m. on Sunday. And you can check out all the information at BlissFest333.com. But the cool thing about the festival this year is all proceeds are going towards the Elitch Theater and the Academy and the events we're doing. Right now, the theater, the doors are closed because on April 16th, a gust of wind came and blew the fly house roof off. That's the stage part. And it landed on the 126-year-old theater and damaged the roof and damaged the theater. And so right now, we're in the process of figuring out what's next. So everything we are doing right now with programming is with the film festival. We have a Children's Day Film Festival coming up at the Bug Theater in November. And we have the Elitch Theater Academy. We're doing classes for adults and children. We just had our photography walk. Our photography gallery is up at 10th Street Coffee and Books. And this all ties into Mary Elitch because she loves the arts. So let's give it over to Mary and you can tell us a little bit about the history and who you are.
Well, thank you, Michael, and thank you, Henry. I appreciate you inviting me. I was born on May 10th of 1856. That makes me pretty old.
We were trying to figure this out last time.
I wasn't very good in math, but I do love children, and I loved my husband John very much, whom I met when I was very young, and my parents didn't quite appreciate me falling in love with a gentleman who was quite a few years older than me. So we went off and eloped, and we stayed in California for a short time. And John Elitch found out that there was a lot of opportunities in Denver at that time. And so John moved to Denver, and I moved 2 years later. He moved to Denver in 1880, and I moved in 1882. John had started a restaurant in downtown Denver called the Elitch Palace Dining Room. And we ran that restaurant, and I ran a boarding house at the time. We wanted to provide food and vegetables and fruits for our restaurant. So we were looking at some property, which was the Chilcott Farm which was located in the present spot of the historic Elitch Theater. That was off of Tennyson Street and 31st Avenue. And we decided we would buy that property. We purchased it, and we were able to use it was already a orchard and a farm, and we were able to use that produce for our restaurant. Well, the land and the property was so beautiful, and I loved growing up on a farm, so I really prided myself on my gardens. And we would have people come visit, and they loved the garden so much they actually thought, you should invite people over and make this a public place because it's so beautiful. So we decided to do that. So we quit the Palace Dining Hall and just concentrated on making our Elitch gardens open to the public. We wanted it to be a place where people could come and enjoy themselves and feel safe.
But this time it was mostly open land. There wasn't a lot of houses, or did they have the trolley going over there at that time?
Yes, the trolley actually went up 38th Avenue, and after our Elitch Gardens, it was called Elitch Zoological Gardens. After that opened up on May 1st of 1889, excuse me. That's a long time ago. After it opened
She's doing
up,
good for how old she is.
My mind is a little So after we opened up, in fact, the very first opening day, John and I didn't know what to do. It was raining and cloudy and just a terrible day for a grand opening. Well, we thought, I hope people will show up. And a couple hours later, right before the opening of our place, the clouds cleared away and the sun started shining, and everyone and the brother and sister came up to our grand opening, and we had such a wonderful opening that first day. That's
kind of like what happened to us last night for our beautiful photography walk, because it was really cloudy, and I looked up at the sky, and I was like, I hope people come to our photography walk. And it's all part of the Elitch Theater Academy that we have put together. And so people started showing up. It started raining just a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just cleared up, and we had the most beautiful evening last night there at Belmont Park. And that has a lot of historical buildings there too, and wildlife. So also on our page, the Facebook page, Historic Elitch Theater, we have a lot of those photos of our walk last night. So that's all part of the arts and what Mary and John love.
Oh, absolutely. My husband, John, actually, when we met, he was the one that got me interested in the theater arts and in all the arts, music and restaurants and just wonderful things. He took me to my first live production at a theater in San Francisco. I absolutely fell in love with the theater at that time.
No, we were trying to determine how old she really was.
Yeah.
Did you figure it out?
Not yet. I can't add past 50.
Okay.
So
maybe somebody out there will figure out.
You don't want to give us your age?
Oh, no. But I was born
because we were trying to figure out who's older. Henry?
She was born May 10th, 1856. If you can guess her age, you win 2 tickets to BlissFest333 this weekend.
But she doesn't want to give her age, but I'm thinking Henry is a legend here and a little older.
Yeah, I'm about her age.
Oh, you're about her age? Okay.
I've been using this kind of stuff that keeps me looking young. You were trying to say I was as old as her. Born in the 1800s. Oh, well, it worked. We were laughing about that last night. And don't forget those who, made your comments about I Love BlissFest. Collect your tickets. Get your tickets. Don't let them sit out there because Michael's waiting for you.
Some blocks are already sold out. Our block 3 on Saturday, Army and Coop, is already sold out. So make sure you collect your tickets because it may be sold out.
How can you get free tickets to this? I mean, come on, people.
Yeah, so comment below I Love BlissFest or figure out Mary's age.
Yes. Now give us that date again that you were born.
May 10th of 1856.
Around when I was born.
And so then, talking about the theater.
Well, the theater, John always loved the theater. He was I want to say professional vaudevillian. At least he thought he was a professional vaudevillian. We made a lot of money in that first year of opening up the zoological gardens.
And that was the first zoo is it the first zoo in America or the first zoo in the world?
No, it was the first zoo that a woman was running.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you that a little bit about that later. But we have John loved the theater so much that we had made a lot of money in that first year of opening, and he wanted to use most of that money to put into his vaudeville act. And he decided that he was so successful that he would take that vaudeville act on the road. Well, he took his act he did go to Durango in his, I believe it was 3 gentlemen, and he took his act on into San Francisco area. And lo and behold, my dear John got pneumonia in San Francisco and he passed away. And I was so bummed about that. But I just decided I would keep on going. And while I was in San Francisco after his funeral, I stayed there for about a year with some of my friends. And I was bound and determined to come back to Colorado and do my best at running the Elitch Zoological Gardens. And so I came back and ran the zoo. I had 2 bears, 2 lions, and several other kinds of animals. And I love animals. But I was running the zoo as well as the theater when I got back to Colorado. And I also was managing the Manhattan Beach Theater.
And that was at Sloan's Lake?
That was at Sloan's Lake.
Yes.
So I was managing 2 theaters and a zoo at the same time. I was the first woman who owned a zoo and managed a zoo.
And that's what I was thinking. The first woman to own a theater and a zoo in the world?
I believe it is in the world.
Well, it's a big world, so.
Yes.
Even at that time.
Wasn't so big for the Titanic.
So what happened is I didn't have a whole lot of money, and I ended up losing the gardens. And a group of gentlemen purchased the gardens, and they actually did some upgrades to the theater. And the building that you see now is actually the building that's built in 1891.
Mm-hmm.
That has been in existence for 27 years now. And we're really trying to restore that theater. It just saddens me. After that windstorm we were talking about, I drove my V6 carriage over to the
1 horsepower?
1 horsepower. I drove that over to the theater and I got out of my carriage and I looked up and saw the damage to the theater.
And the flagpole broke in half. And I mean, that wind was so intense that it just blew that whole roof off, and it blew cinder blocks off of the theater, and the cinder blocks landed on the very top of the cupola, and so there is right now a lot of damage, so we can't even get in to do any programming. And so it's so sad, so, we're working on the next steps and seeing what we could do next to get those doors to open again.
And if there's anybody out there who has a little bit of money to donate, if you've got $500,000 or $1 million, please do so.
Yes, Because it's going to take a lot of money to really fully restore the theater. It needs bathrooms, HVAC, and then all the damage from the roof and the storms. And so right now we're working with the insurance companies, figuring out, what we can get and what needs to get done. And so it's a slow process.
To make it safe for our patrons to go back into the theater, to make it safe for our members of our historic Elitch theater group and also patrons. We are trying to restore the theater to the point where we can do live productions there, and so that it can generate money for itself.
Yeah, and bring that cultural hub back, because that was the original Elitch Gardens, the amusement park, the theater of what is now downtown Denver 5 Mile High Stadium.
When I used to go there when I was like 12 years old in 1910, I used to enjoy myself. It's you made me do this. I have to go there,
And you were probably just following Mary Elitch around.
That's what I was. I thought she was so adorable, but she was married. She would give me the time of day.
Well, I wanted to tell you one of the stories, a funny story. One of the actresses that came to our theater, she was the most famous actress of her time. You probably heard of her, Miss Sarah Bernhardt.
Oh, yeah.
She came to the theater and was gracious enough to perform 2 shows in one day, which was very unheard of. I mean, she's a fantastic actress and one of my favorites. Well, in between the shows, I took her around the gardens and showed her around. We went up to the lion cage. I had 2 lions, and Miss Bernhardt decided to stick her hand in the cage.
Ooh. Oh my gosh!
I stepped back and aghast. She stuck her hand through the cage and started petting the lioness, and soon she had the lioness purring.
Oh, wow.
I was stunned. And
didn't they get her hand bit off?
No, she didn't get her hand bit off, but I gave that lioness Miss Sarah Bernhardt's name.
Oh, how neat.
So the lioness name is Mrs. Bernhardt?
I think Sarah.
Oh, Sarah.
She went by Sarah.
And the 2 bears.
And the 2 bears.
Which were your friends.
My bears.
You loved your bears.
I loved my bears, Mary's bears.
Yeah.
And we had 2 bears. Another story with them is one day, we had kind of a bear pit that we had the bears in. People could look down into the bear pit, and I would go down into the bear pit, and I would have them do some tricks. Well, one day the bears got out of the pit. I don't know how that happened, but they climbed out of the pit, or got out of the pit somehow, and just wandering around the gardens. My helpers just didn't know how to get the bears back into the pit. So I had to step in, and I just got a little broom and kind of swished my skirts and the broom at the same time and scooted the bears on into their pit. And everyone was sort of amazed.
For all of those who just joined us, you're listening to KUHS Radio TV in Denver, Colorado with Mr. Michael Bliss of BlissFest333 and Mary Elitch. And only KUHS can take you back into time and bring you Mary Elitch.
Yeah.
Along with, it's because of Michael Bliss.
Yes, because we have partnered up with the Elitch Theater. And with that, with what we're doing with the Elitch Theater Academy and our workshops and classes, it all ties into children and the cultural hub that 38th and Tennyson used to be, that we really want to build a cultural hub again. So with all of our events that we're putting on around Denver, we really want to bring that cultural revival back. So Mary loved poetry. She loved art. She would have thousands of children there a week. And so will you tell us a little bit about the Children's Day and what Mary Elitch really loved about children?
Well, John and I, my husband John and I never had children of our own. But I'll tell you what, I love children and I love animals. And both my children and my animals were with me at my zoo. The children, I had a special event. It was called Tuesday's Children's Days, and children would come from far and wide. Parents felt safe enough because of our policies on our homes that children were safe enough to ride the trolley up from Denver, which was, I believe, 5 miles or something like that.
They would just let them get on the trolley and they would drop them off. The trolley would drop them off.
Drop them off at the front gate, and the children would come in, and I would have all kinds of free activities for them. I hired extra performers and extra teachers and instructors that would come in and teach the children different arts and even dancing, ballet dancing.
Oh, wonderful.
Just wonderful events. And the children absolutely loved it. They thought it was the cat's meow. And I was going to tell you, I used to drive my little cart around. I had a little cart that my pet ostrich. I would hook my pet ostrich up to it and drive around the little gardens and just make sure everything was all right. The children loved it.
Do you still ride around on your carriage with the ostrich?
Well,
or is it a little more dangerous now with all the traffic?
It's a little bit more dangerous now. My new mode of transportation is a V6 and that works.
God, I could have had a V8.
But I wanted to also do a shout out because we do a televised third Friday open mic at Denver Open Media, which ties into all the arts. So if you are a performer, you could come, it's poetry. We've had magicians, we have comedians, and a lot of musicians. And so it ties in with any kind of performance, any kind of art. You can come on third Friday, be live on television like we are here today. And this streams all over the world. It streams live on Channel 57 on Comcast, but it's also streaming live all around the world. And the neat thing is that we record it and then it's broadcast over and over again throughout the year. So you're going to be live on television. We could bring the kids there to perform, adults. I mean, since it's on television, it has to be, G or PG rated. So the children are welcome to come and even perform at this in honor of Mary and her legacy. And, with all the famous actors, with the historic Elitch Theater, it ties into the BlissFest International Film Festival, which is this weekend at the Alamo Drafthouse, the newest theater in Denver. And we're partnered up with the oldest theater in Denver, Historic Elitch Theater. So, we have a lot of upcoming actors, a lot of local films, local directors, and how it ties into the theater is Thomas Edison. He first streamed his films there, and I believe that was right around the time the theater opened.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the Vitascope.
Yeah, the Vitascope. So what was that like to actually have an audience there watching the first films on the screen? That must have been amazing because people didn't really know that technology at that time.
No. We had a lot of firsts at the gardens, at the Elitch Zoological Gardens and theater. We had the first Vitascope, the very first moving pictures was shown at our theater. And we also were the very first summer stock theater. Live theater, actors and actresses would come in, I'd hire actors and actresses to come in and perform on stage. And they actually would do several shows. While they were doing one show, they would piggyback rehearsing for the next show, and it was just the same actors and actresses all summer long.
Now, okay, you say we can come to Denver Open Media. Do you discriminate against elderly people?
No,
You haven't invited me.
You could be as old as you are. So we welcome all ages, even old men like you. But look at him. He looks great, and Mary looks great.
Why, thank you so very much.
But yes, all ages are welcome to come, and all talent. And
so don't forget, Denver Open Media
every third Friday, live on television at 6 p.m. sharp, 6 to 8, and this ties in with the theater and also with the film festival. A lot of the actors, there's been so many famous actors that have gone through Historic Elitch Theater. Will you tell us some of those actors?
Well, you heard me talk about Miss Sarah Bernhardt. We also have such fantastic personalities as Antoinette Perry, who was a Denverite. I don't know if you've heard of the Tony Awards.
The Tony Awards.
That is named after Antoinette Perry.
Did she get her start there?
She did get her start on the Elitch stage.
Yeah.
Another person who got his start on the Elitch stage is Cecil B. DeMille.
One of my favorite directors of all time. The Ten Commandments.
Just fantastic.
Yeah.
And there was people like Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly was a child there, right?
She was a young ingenue. Ingenue. My French is she appeared on the Elitch stage in her youth, in her younger years, and she actually got the call while she was living at an apartment while she was performing at the Elitch theater. She got a call to go to Hollywood.
Oh, and
that was Miss
when
Grace
she
Kelly.
got her start.
Yes.
That is amazing.
And we are running out of time. We are right at the cusp of it. So
okay.
You may want to call it a day.
So, yes. So if you want some free tickets, comment below I Love BlissFest or figure out Mary Elitch's age. And what is your birth date again?
May 10th of 1856.
Somebody guessed 162 years old.
Oh,
James Roybal. You win 2 tickets, but you have to make sure. And Michael will get up there and show you how to collect them.
Yep, I will be messaging you. And so check out BlissFest333.com and everything we are doing with the Elitch Theater at etfest.com, the Elitch Theater Festival.com, etfest.com, and BlissFest333.com. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Henry, and thank you, Mary, for riding your carriage over this way and getting through that I-25 traffic.
Oh, it's a lot different than it was way back then.
Yeah.
So it's been real. Bringing Mary Elitch here to you on KUHSdenver.com. Thanks for joining us. We're going to have the Jazz and Soul Express coming up right now with Steve Stalzy. He walked into the studio and gave me the look like my turn. So for now, thank you, Michael.
Yes.
Thank you, Mary, for joining us.
Thank you.
And from KUHSdenver.com, see y'all later.